Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the All on Me, the morning drinking show. You guessed it. I'm Greg. I'm back. Talking all that shit. All that shit. What a beautiful morning, man. It's crisp. Look at that. You see the breath coming out. We getting outside today at the ranch, man. So grateful. So grateful. So incredibly grateful, right, for this space, indoor space, the outdoor, the acreage, the landscape. God, it was all a dream, motherfuckers. This was all a dream, right? And I'm so grateful for the space right now. Lots of acreage, lots of freshness out here in the National Forest, Carson National Forest. If you could only see what I could see right now. God, it's beautiful. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's as perfect can get. I tell you that much, right? And guess what? It didn't just come. I didn't just manifest this shit quick. It's been a journey. It's been a journey to get to here, right? And I don't take it for granted. I'm so grateful. I put so much work into the ranch, and I got a lot to be proud of. I got a lot to be grateful for. I got a big project today, putting in a fancy toilet. A fancy shitter's going into the ranch. It's fancier than anything you ever seen. I promise you that. Yep. Even this motherfucker, we doing plumbing projects, toilet installation projects, right? It just don't happen. You got to be able to do the shit, to put in the work. That's how you create value. That's how you transform spaces. That's how you transform yourself, right? That's how you bring about change, right? Anybody looking to do some changes in 23, right? This is the year of the rabbit. Chinese stuff, but I look at 23. Anytime you think of the number 23, there's only two initials that come to my mind: MJ, Jordan, and he was the greatest, man. He was just phenomenal as a child growing up in the 80s and 90s. God, Jordan, man, Jordan. And so I call it the year to GOAT, right? It's time to be the greatest of all time. You can be the greatest of all time, the greatest version of yourself. And that's really the life experience, because everything that you've been through, all the shit, all the pain, all the suffering, all the anguish, right? All the ups and all the downs, right? It's still, all of it is all who you are right now on this morning. Whatever you're doing, however you're feeling, it's everything. And we get caught in the dumps. Right. Last night, I was kind of struggling last night. I kept having these negative, these thoughts of loneliness, these thoughts of just needing something that ain't here. And again, you gotta capture those thoughts, right? And you gotta say, you know what? You could do two things. You could capture the thoughts, and then hopefully you're able to just go into positive thoughts, or the other healthy thing is to just get to the root of the thoughts. What is the underlying root of these negative feelings, of these feelings of not being enough, right? Because they say, look, if you ain't happy with yourself, ain't nobody else could be happy with you. Do you guys realize that? If you cannot be happy with who you are, how the fuck you want anybody else to be happy with you? God. And we think that, right? We think someone else is going to be the solution to our problem. Well, what's our problem? We're not happy. We don't love ourselves. We don't feel like we're enough. But if someone else comes, then they're going to make us feel all these things. And that's not true. No way. Other people can't do that. I love the smell of sage, even outside here. I got cedar and sage. I got a beautiful cedar patio that I built over last summer. And so even when it snows or rains, you could just smell the cedar. It smells beautiful, man. It smells beautiful. I love being connected to nature and outdoors, man. Out here in Carson National Forest, Ojo Caliente, Ojo Mystico. That's the name of this ranch. And it is glorious out here. Maybe I'll do a little walk around. I'll do a little video I got plans to do about a mile walking trail on the property. So I'll probably do a little walk around. I ain't really shown people kind of what is out here, and it's glorious. It's probably one of the most incredible. This is not me bragging, but this is probably one of the most incredible northern New Mexico landscapes that I've ever seen. I mean, just because when I look out here, right, which is to the west, I got Pedernal. It's like the most famous fucking mesa in New Mexico, Georgia O'Keeffe. And then I got this other mesa that's real close called Vibora, the Viper. And then behind me over my shoulder, you can't see it because of the sunlight, but it's the second largest peak in New Mexico, Truchas. And then I got views all the way up to Ski Santa Fe and all the way up north to Taos. It's incredible, man. It's really a true blessing. And I don't take it for granted. I want to share it with others. You know, I believe this is a healing space. I believe this is a place where others can come and heal, right? Just connect with self, man. Disconnect from all the bullshit and just connect with who the fuck you are. And that's the thing. That's the talk, right? What you want. What you want, motherfuckers. What do you want in 23, right? You could think about all this shit you want, but what are you willing to actually do, right, to get it, right? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to switch up, right, in your daily habits, your weekly habits, your monthly habits, right? What are you willing to switch up in order to start to accomplish the wins, right? To start to bring about transformation in your life, right? For me, it's not so easy to always look at that fucking mugshot, knowing that I used to be a drunk motherfucker, knowing how much trouble I caused for myself in this life because of the vices, right? Because of alcohol, because of being social, being popular, right? Gotta do the shit, man. Keep hanging out with the people that don't bring me no peace, right? But it just made me feel good, right? You know, I'm popular. I got friends. I got people that care about me, but then they leave you in the dirt, right? Anybody ever been that person? Any of you ever been the person that's like, you feel like you got everybody's back, right? When shit gets tough, when the shit hits the fan, you feel like, you know what, you always got everybody's back. But then guess what? When the shit hits your fan, we're like, where the fuck all these people go? Where'd they go? And that's tough. That's a tough situation. But unfortunately, in this world, is self-rescue, right? And if you do got a servant's heart, right, you're willing to help people out in their darkest hours, right? You give a shit about other people, right? That's a wonderful thing. That's a beautiful attribute. Don't stop doing that. The problem that we have, though, is when we put expectations. I was talking to someone about this a few days ago, to where I was being asked, like, what's the state of my brotherhood? What's the state of the community that's around me, right? Does it feel unified? Does it feel divided? Does my community feel distant? And I say, you know what? Right now in 23, I feel that I have a pretty solid community, right? A brotherhood, a tribe, that's a people around me. However, I don't put too much expectation on that. And the reason being is because one of the greatest developments from 22 into 23 that I've had to go through, transformationally speaking, has been to really develop a sense of independence, healthy independence, really counting on myself in those darkest times, those darkest nights. And that doesn't mean that I don't want people to be there for me, that I don't want to have other connections. But I do believe that it was imperative for me, right, to really connect with the deeper parts of who I am, right, to really count on myself, to build a greater level of trust with myself, even through those really dark nights of the soul, man. Anybody going through some dark nights of the soul? That shit'll break you, won't it? It hurts. It's painful, man. It's painful. Be honest with you. I'd rather die. There's some nights that I would just choose to rather just die, right? The dark nights of the soul, having to face the truth within us, right? It's a tough place to be. And so many of us, we run to devices, right? That was my big thing, is always running to, getting high, right? I get high every night. I'd fucking get drunk every night, right? I would, sometimes you just even overeat, right? Anybody got some eating disorders? You overeat, man, you get all stressed out and you just start fucking eating, thinking that's going to make you feel better. And it don't, it just makes you feel worse, but you don't know how to cope with the feelings. And that's been that experience of developing more independence, right? As opposed to unhealthy codependent habits and feelings and emotions. And it's a journey. It's a journey to get to that place. And again, it's not to a place where you just don't give a fuck about people. You do. I do. People that know me know I care about them. I guarantee you that. I'm someone that people are going to call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? 2 o'clock in the morning when they need help, when someone's in a tough bind. I get a lot of people that reach out to me. I can tell you that as I started really just this past week, right? The past few days, I'm really pushing more of the message of, look, man, it's my time. It's my time to help you, right? Get to your goals, get to your dreams. And I know I intimidate the fuck out of a lot of you because I've had the people that have reached out to me are saying, man, I've been wanting to reach out to you for a while, but I didn't have the confidence. I feel intimidated because it's that self-talk, right? We tell ourselves, I see where he's at and I feel that energy and I feel his confidence and I know he's a gaslight, man. He lights that gas fire under our asses. And, it's scary to think that how are you going to jump from basically sitting on a fucking couch to taking life by the horns, right? To climbing up the mountains, to getting into cold water, doing all this shit that I do. And that's not what you're being asked to do in this life, right? What you're being asked to do is to believe in yourself, right? To believe that you are worthy. You're worthy of transformation. You're worthy of actually accomplishing some new things in your life. And I could tell you as a coach, right? I've also been a teacher of children, right? And most of the shit that we have going on in our heads, the doubt, all that shit is the child. It's the child voice inside of us that's scared, that's insecure, that doesn't feel that we're capable, right? And trust me, I know how to facilitate that. So if you are someone that's scared, if you are someone that's like, man, I can't keep up with this guy. You're right. You can't keep up with me. It's not about keeping up with me. It's about looking towards me and using what? Using my confidence, my credibility, my experience, my energy, right? My power, my grit, my determination, right? To start that fire inside of you so that we can develop you one step at a time, little by little. But trust me, your process is going to be a hell of a lot shorter than mine. And that's the beauty, right? Because I now know what it takes. And because I know what it takes, I'm not going to make you reinvent the whole entire wheel, right? We're going to get the mind right. And then we're going to start getting the nutrition right, right? Putting in the healthy nutrition, right? Because we all know garbage in, garbage out. The shit you ate yesterday, if you overindulged last night, you drank a little more than you should have. You ate a little more than you should have. You're feeling it today. Tell me I'm lying. You're feeling it today. I can tell you, yesterday was a cheat day for me. It wasn't a full cheat day because I did the yoga. I took care of myself. But in the evening, I had a cheat meal, right? Ate some tacos at the taco stand, vegan tacos. So good, but probably not super healthy. I mean, they're not packed with oil and grease and cheese and bullshit, but I just could tell they're just not the healthiest tacos ever. And then I ate a cookie. So that's my cheat meals. I ate a vegan cookie last night. It's like a brownie cookie thing. But I could feel it. Even just that, I could feel it. And so you can feel that too. And so really when you ask for help, right? When you get the courage, and I'm grateful for those that have already come to me asking for help. Most of them have said, right? Most of them have said, man, I've been wanting to ask you for help for a while, but you're intimidating. And I get that, right? Because this energy is real. This intensity is real, right? But see, some of you are so stuck and caught in your ways that you need this real shit, right? You need someone that's going to be real with you, right? Not tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. But I've also got the humility to say, hey, shit, if me and you are sitting there and you're talking about doing a little cheat weekend, going on vacation, doing something, right? I'm going to ask you, how do you want me to coach you? Because again, if you're coming to me asking me to coach you, asking me to be a part of your journey for better health, better nutrition, leveling up in your life, right? It's not my plan, it's your plan, right? It's your terms. Because again, me putting in my work, that's not going to benefit you, right? Other than the fact that I'm holding myself accountable, right? You got to put in the work. And when you want to not put in the work, I'm going to obviously want to have a conversation about why we're not putting in the work. Why do we have goals, right? And that's what it's about. What you want. What you want, right? That's the Beastie Boys, right? What do you want? What are your goals? You want to lose some weight? You want to feel better? You want to have more energy? You want to be more active? You want to put on some muscle, right? You want to finish up a college education? You want to develop some new skills to start a new career? You want to start a business, right? What do you want? And you have to be very clear with your goals. I got big goals. I asked my kids this the other day. There's a book. And I want you guys to do this. Get ready. So there's a book out there. It's called An Instant Millionaire. It sounds very shallow, I know, because we're shallow people. The Instant Millionaire, right? This is not about just name it and claim it and all this other bullshit. It's not that type of book. You should listen to it. It's really about finding your self-worth, finding your inner value. And so the moral of the story, the big nugget that I pull out of that book when you're trying to find your worth and your value is there's like this protege, this younger guy that wants to unlock the secret to wealth. How can I become a millionaire? And so his uncle that's a millionaire says, look, go talk to this guy. And this guy's called an instant millionaire. So they have this dialogue over the course of a few days. It's a really interesting book. You should listen to it or read it. But the millionaire asked the protege, what is the most amount of money that you would like to make in 1 year? I'm asking you this question right now. If you're watching this right now, what is the most amount of money that you would like to make in 1 year? Ask yourself this. What is the most amount of money that you can imagine making in 1 year? What is the most? Right? Don't overthink it. Just what is the number that comes to your head? You can either comment it there or just, tell yourself it out loud or in your own head. And as you think about that, right, what's the most amount of money you want to make in 1 year? The number that pops up in your head, that's how much you're worth. That's the moral of the story. That's how much you're worth, right? And whatever number you said, if you said 100,000, if you said 1 million, if you said 10 million, if you said 100 million, again, that's how much you're worth. And you have to believe it, right? And the moral of the story is most people undercut themselves. Most people undervalue who they are, right? I talked about how I was talking to a law enforcement officer last week, a former law enforcement officer, and he was telling me that in the court system, they see a human being, right, as more valuable than any amount of property, any amount of material, physical property, a human being, right? And yet so many of us, we have so low self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth, right? Over the course of our lives because of what? We've had failures, we've had setbacks, we had fucked up programming from our, caregivers and the environment that we were raised in, that we don't really value ourselves. And so I was talking to a motivational guy, right, the other day, and I asked him this question out of the blue, same thing, right? What is the most that you would like to make? Like, this guy's actually mentoring and coaching me. And I asked him, and it was funny because in that conversation, he was like prefacing it. Well, okay, the number I'm going to give you it's like the big number, the big, here it is. And so he spit out the number and it was like, $12 million. He finally spit it out. And I said, that's great, man. But why did you have to preface it? Just spit it out. And it's because you can see that there's resistance. We don't believe it. We think that the things that we truly desire, the things that we want, are impossible because we're seeing it from where we're at right now. So it's impossible. And so we put all this resistance in front of it, and it fucks with us. And I called him on it because this guy's a motivational man, and I know that he can accomplish anything he sets out. Now, even in my own journey this year, I started off the year re-listening. I started off the year listening to a book that's called Think and Grow Rich. It's an old school book, Napoleon Hill. A wonderful book. You should listen to that too, because there's a lot of turning the impossible into the inevitable, right? Into reality. And these are real stories of pioneers in this country that took impossible, just imagination, vision, and turned it into a reality, turned it into a fortune, really. And that's the dream, ain't it? Isn't that the dream? Or no matter what your dream is. So I went back because it starts challenging you to write down your goals, to write down these crystal clear fucking goals. What do you want to accomplish? And it's so crazy because every month, every week, every year that passes by, I'm expanding what I believe is possible. And so what I thought was possible 2 years ago or 5 years ago, that's small shit compared to what I think is possible now. So I had to go back and I listened to The Instant Millionaire. And then I went back into this other book because I wanted to figure out, what is that value? And here was the thing. Regardless of my number is a big number. We're talking 10 digits. Regardless of the number, see, here's the thing. Whatever you told yourself today, I know most of the people I'm talking to, if you told yourself 100,000 or you told yourself 2 million, right? From wherever you're at today, 100,000 may seem impossible, but so is 2 million, right? Or if I was to tell you, okay, 2 million versus 10 million, from where you're at right now today, both may seem impossible. And the thing is choose your impossible. Because it's not your job to really overanalyze what's in your heart. What's the number that comes to your mind? But you do need a question if your number's too low. Why? Right? Why can't it be 10 times whatever number you just said? Because whatever number you put out there, right, here's the thing. It's the universe's responsibility to fulfill that, but it's your responsibility to believe it's possible. To turn something that feels impossible, sounds impossible, may even be laughed at by others. And for you to just believe that if it's in your heart, you have a desire, you have a vision, that it can be possible. I heard something the other day that was very real and profound. And I believe that most of the people that listen to this show are good people. And yet, we don't always feel like we're good people. We don't always feel like we're worthy. But here's the thing. Wealth in the hands of good people do great things. Did you hear that? Abundance, wealth, prosperity in the hands of good-hearted people. Good-hearted people then go do great things. That's a beautiful thing, to think that if you were to build something incredible out of the passion of your heart, right, that then you could turn around into this world, into your community, into society, and then go do great things with the wealth at your disposal. But yet we don't believe it. We don't feel we're worthy, right? Because we hear bullshit like, right, money is the root of all evil, and that's not even it. That takes it out of context. It says money is the root of many evils, right? But if you have a good heart, if you're someone that truly is genuine, is caring, is kind, is giving, is loving, then guess what? The chances are that if you're that type of person and right now you're struggling paycheck to paycheck, worried about the gas, stressed about the eggs, stressed about all the bullshit, financially speaking, right? But you're still being a positive, giving, loving, kind person. Guess what? That if the abundance comes, you're going to continue to be a loving, kind person and even give of that abundance to others to help to change and transform other people's lives, right? But so many times we think we have to stay small in order to be faithful, in order to be worthy of God's love, of acceptance. And we keep ourselves in these old stories of someone else's limiting beliefs. I'll tell you what, I asked my kids. I asked my kids this question, right? How much do you picture yourself making in 1 year? And my son said 100,000. And that's a pretty good number for a 13-year-old, right? 100,000. I was like, dang, man, that's pretty good. And my daughter said 1 billion. She must be taken after her dad. And so the thing is my mentorship, my fathership, right, to both of my children is saying, both those numbers feel impossible, right? For my son, he's 13, 100,000 feels impossible. But guess what? There are more millionaires under 18 years old than ever before, you guys, because of technology, because of social, all the technology. There are more millionaires right now walking this earth, multi-millionaires, right, that are under 18 years old than ever before because of technology. So kids can have big visions. So I was still proud of my son because he said 100,000, and it's not all about money. It's about mindset. It's about belief in yourself, self-worth, right? Because it's not just about money. I know a lot of you guys get really uncomfortable about money, right? So then let's switch gears. Your health is your wealth. So how many of you, right, that are overweight, low energy, right? No energy, feeling like shit, feeling old, right? How many of you would love to be wealthy in terms of having a healthy body, a healthy mind, a healthy spirit, right? Healthy emotions. How many of you are willing to invest in that part of life? Health is wealth, because I'm a huge believer in that. That I guarantee you, I'm gonna post it later, my before and after pictures, right? From when I was running the Veterans Resource Center. This is probably like 2016. God, I was 242 and a half pounds. I thought I was gonna die in my sleep. I was living the veteran life, right? Living the dad life in my mid-30s, thinking I was old and thinking I was gonna die. I mean, the VA was sending me boxes upon boxes of medication. I was in my 30s, you guys, and the VA sending me cases of the drinks Ensure. That shit's for like 80, 90-year-olds, guys. The VA sending me this shit because they're like, I don't know if they were trying to kill me or they thought, hey, I don't know what it was, man. I just felt like, holy shit, I was old. And I can tell you that when I switched up the nutrition, right, everything changed. So much more changed. It was a catalyst to really turn back the hands of time, to where when I wake up, I'm not stiff. I'm not tight. I'm not sore. I mean, there's some days I wake up sore, but it's not, I'm sore because I'm fucking deadlifting 400 pounds, 455 pounds, you know what I mean? Like major weights, you know, I'm running 5 miles out of nowhere, right? I mean, I'm sore because I'm putting my body through the routine of an active life, right? I'm sore because I'm hiking up big ass mountains with heavy ass packs. I'm not just sore because I'm just old or I'm feeling fucking stiff, right? I'm nimble. I'm flexible. I feel 20 years younger. I cannot explain that any more clear. I'm 44 years old. I feel 20 years younger, right? I know I'm more powerful than I've ever been. I know I'm more focused than I've ever been. And I know that 10 years ago, when I was probably 34, if you had asked me, I would have said, man, I wish I was back in my high school years and back in the early military days when I was a lean, mean fighting machine, right? I would have had that vision of yesteryear, right? That hope of, oh man, yesteryear. But guys, I made yesteryear become today. In this body, I brought back, I found the fountain of youth, right? And it's a healthy mind. It's the four elements, right? Healthy mind, healthy emotions, a healthy spirit, and a healthy body. And it's tying all those things together and finding harmony with those, right? Knowing that, again, your health is your wealth. And so I'm looking for people to partner with, right? To encourage you, to guide you, to inspire you, right? To become the wealthiest motherfuckers you can in terms of health. That regardless of where you're at, regardless of the excuses, regardless of the medical condition, this and that, guys, I don't take anything. I used to have a CPAP, right? A fucking air breather at night. I don't even snore no more. I don't have any of this shit, any of the medications, right? Even the Motrin. I don't even take Motrin anymore. I used to take Motrin, big ass horse pills every fucking day, man, for the aches and pains. I don't do any of it. Heartburn medication, all the bullshit. It's all gone. It's gone. Right? Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy soul. Right? Clearing out and cleansing who you are as a human being. And it's in that process, right, that I've redeemed my time. I feel 20 years younger. And I don't just say that, I truly feel it. That's why I stay so regimented with this program that goes along the bottom of the board. And one of the things you'll realize that I've adjusted, many of you know I'm plant-based, basically a vegan diet. It's not for everybody. I know that the vegan diet's not for everybody. It works for me. It works like perfectly for me. I feel so amazing. But here's what I do know is that I can coach you with a very healthy Western diet, plant-based, lean plant-based proteins, right? Just cleaner cooking, cleaner eating, right? Because I've been there, right? Even when I was in the military, I was the physical readiness coordinator. So I know how to just guide people, coach people, mentor people. And again, it doesn't just come hard. Like, as I said earlier on, the people that have reached out to me, their lives are going to get transformed. You have to believe that. You have to believe that where if you can start to transform your mind and then transform your body, then that's when you'll build the self-confidence to really take on these other goals in life, career goals, financial goals, to really believe that the desires of your heart, the things that you want are possible, not impossible, because you're looking at it from where you're at right now. Because wherever you're at right now, there's a million things. I challenge you to journal it out. Journal out all the things you think are impossible for you to feel more youthful, for you to be more active, for you to lose 100 pounds, right? 50 pounds, 20 pounds. I think all in all, I lost probably about 65 pounds, somewhere in there from the height of where I was at. Maybe even a little more, probably about that. And that's a shit ton of weight, man. That's a shit ton of weight. And it took me a long time to do that. But I've maintained it over a number of years. And I wake up every day and I feel great. I feel amazing. That doesn't mean that the emotions are always there, because again, life hits us, right? We go through different cycles of grief and loss, and just having a process. But again, that's a healing process. That's a healing journey. That's a little by little, step by step, day by day process of being the best version of yourself, knowing that it's never one and done. You can't just heal grief and then it's never going to come back, because there's seasons, there's so many things that trigger loss in life. And a lot of us have felt like we lost who we used to be. And I'm here to tell you that if you really, 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 really want to get a part of that back, right, you can. Maybe you can't do it alone. Maybe you need someone to help you out, and I'm here to do that. It don't matter where you're at in the country or in the world, as long as you have this technology, right? I can be here. I could be by your side to guide you, to encourage you, to help you along your life's journey, right? To cheer you on. Because I know that's where I'm at right now. I have not only transformed myself, I have transcended myself into an incredible place. When I write out the highest version of who I can see myself being, man, that list, right? It's almost complete. And that's a beautiful thing, that when you could write out what would be the greatest version of yourself, right? Being healthy, being active, being happy, being just all of these things. I write these lists down. I'm constantly writing things down, right? Because this life matters. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know when my time is up, but I know that each and every day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to give it my best. And I'm challenging you to give it your best. And I'm challenging you to reach out, right? Because it's not until you do that, it's not until you ask for the help, right, that you're going to really invest in your own transformation, right? And I know I'm talking to people that are at that place right now. I know that you're hearing this message and there's things that you want to accomplish, right? But you just keep kicking it, punting it till the next day, or talking yourself out of it. Usually we talk ourselves out of the shit that we truly want. And that's unfortunate, because every day that passes is a day you can't have back. But we all have to experience life on our terms. And if your life's terms is just going to be another year gone by that you didn't really take action, that you really didn't just say, I need help me out, right? What are you offering? What can you do for me, right? And it's not what can I do for you, it's what do you want to do for yourself? And it starts with your why. Why do you want to do the things you want to do? What are your goals and why? Why do you want to accomplish them? I hear a lot of people that they decide to really take ownership because they realize that they have a family and they want to be around to see their family grow, right? To see their family transition from children becoming, getting married and then having kids, and you want to be around for that shit. You want to take care of yourself. And I know that no one's guaranteed shit, but that doesn't mean take it all for granted. That doesn't give you a free pass to just fuck off and not take your life serious, to not really truly invest in yourself, right? Because there's people watching you. And whether you believe it or not, if you were to change up, if you were to truly take total ownership of your life this year and go through an incredible transformation, right? Holy shit, you could be the next inspiration. You could be on this by this time next year, right? Because you now have a message and you want to now give back because you turned something you felt was impossible into possible, and you turned it into a reality, right? And now you get to celebrate that each and every day, saying, look, holy shit, I made it. I did it. I did it. I can't believe I did it. That's how I wake up almost every day. I'm like, man, this is a dream, but it's not. It's not a dream because it keeps getting better. And that doesn't mean it gets easier, right? But it keeps getting better because I keep growing. I don't back down from the challenges. I don't back down from the emotionally challenging days. I have emotionally challenging days all the time. Sometimes it just comes in waves, right? Sometimes I just have an emotionally challenging couple of hours that I'm just feeling down. I'm just feeling a longing for something. And that gives me the opportunity to say, you know what, let's fall back on everything that we've been through, to say that, guess what, man, look what you got. Get back into that attitude of gratitude, right? It's the attitude of gratitude, man. It starts there. It's starting to be grateful for everything you got right now. And you know what's the most valuable thing you got? What's the most valuable thing you got? It's not your house. It's not this ranch, right? It's life. And that life was a free gift. Someone or something gave you that life, regardless, whatever your beliefs are. And so many of us squander this gift of life. And I have a sense of urgency right now in 23 to reach people, because I know that people are suffering, and I know people are right there at that breaking point, man. And it's at that breaking point that I'm reaching out my hand. I'm saying, grab a hold, man, grab a hold. I'm not going to fucking kick your ass. I'm not going to drag you through the dirt. I'm not going to make you do the things that I do, but I'm going to inspire you from where you're at, right, to get to where you want to be, where you want to be. And it starts with, what are your goals? What are your dreams? And then what is your why? Why do you want those things, right? And just imagine, tell yourself this. What if everything actually could go better than you think it could go, right? Instead of having the doomsday mentality, shit always goes bad. It's just my luck. Things never, I saw someone yesterday. I never win. And they won something, but it's like, wait, you just won. You never win, but you just won. And that's that results kill excuses mindset, right? It's saying there is wins in each and every day, and we take it for granted. We take for granted the little wins every single day, right? Getting up, doing some mindfulness, some positive affirmations, that's a fucking win, right? Eating healthy, that's a win. Loving your family, right? Unconditionally, right? By honoring yourself, by being an example, by taking some leadership, taking ownership, that's wins, right? Catching up on some chores, cleaning out your space, reorganizing, that's some wins, right? Watching less TV, right? Consuming less of the vices, the alcohol, the drink, the smoke, all the bullshit, that's some wins. Those are all things you can control each and every day, right? And guess what? It feels good to be a winner, but we take all that shit for granted. Like that's no big deal. When if you are caught in a lesser version where you are caught up in watching too much TV, you are taking your family for granted, you are taking your health for granted. When you just start to take ownership and switch up, that is winning. That is absolutely winning. And you should celebrate that instead of celebrating all these other motherfuckers winning, right? How many of y'all, you're just so excited? It's Championship Sunday, and yet you're not on the field. You're not on the team, right? And yet, what are you going to give them? Your most valuable asset, your time. Your time and your attention. Those are the two most valuable things. Time and attention, you're going to give that away to someone that ain't going to give two shits about you. They don't care if you cheer them on, watch them. They don't care about it. It doesn't matter to them. Right? They're there for them, for each other, the team, the real team. Right? The motherfuckers putting in work. Right? The motherfuckers driving the supercars. Right? living in mansions, millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, right? To live their dream, to play the dream games, right? To do all this shit. They're there for each other, right? Yes, the fans are important. You know, they say, we're doing this for the fans. No, they're not. They're doing it because that was their dream, right? If you can remember being an athlete, when did you ever say, you know what? I'm going to be an athlete because there's fans. If anybody has ever been athletically gifted, played on a team, an individual sport, when did you ever tell yourself as a competitor that it was about the fans, that I'm doing this for the fans? You don't do it for the fans. You do it for yourself. You do it because it's something that you love. And just because other people are willing to be spectators of what you love to do, your gift, that's a bonus. That is not the reason why you do it. And so you got to be able to break down the psychological fuckery that you have put yourself in as a fan, as a fanatic, as a spectator of someone else's life. You are more interested in someone else's life, their wins, their losses, their performance than you are in your own. Stop. Come on now. Stop with that shit. I used to be the biggest fanatic. That's how I could speak into this shit. First, I was an athlete. Then I was a fanatic, right? And now I don't give two fucks. I'm just back to being an athletic, active motherfucker out there just doing the shit I love to do every day. Keeping this body in motion, right? Setting big goals, setting big dreams, chasing after the things that I desire most, right? And I'm so grateful that I'm in a place now where I could turn back, give this message of inspiration, unrehearsed, right? There's no rehearsals here, man. There's no script. This is just from my heart. That's how you know it's legit. And yet there's nothing greater, right? For me right now in 23 is for me to, one, continue maintaining what I have done, right? And two, to now make a difference in the lives of other people. Because I know you're suffering. And I know that if you could put a bet on yourself, right? And reach out and give me that high five and say, let's do this. Let's go. I'm ready. Be nice. Don't crush me. I'm not going to crush you, man. I'm a loving, kind, but very assertive person. I'm going to hold your ass accountable. And I'm looking for some people to partner with that want to transform their lives, get to that next level, quit making them motherfucking excuses. Because you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me. Greg's out.